Hi, Vibers. I'm Mindy. I'm living intentionally. That was really lazy. Hi, Vibers. I am Mindy and I'm living intentionally. Okay. So here's the insidiousness of the psychiatric industry. It is an industry of spiritual death. It has always been. The genocide of indigenous peoples has always been a war against spirituality. And here's how intense that is. Because, I'm pretty freaking awesome about, knowing that I'm God my entire life. I've handled that pretty well, right? And, the thing is that when I experienced any intuitive knowing, when I used my other senses to experience, to act as a warrior on the behalf of light, when I was engaged as that Jesus entity, and I had psychiatric medication in my system, there prevented this acceptance of it. Even though I am so great in my knowing and so accepting of my role of creator of all that is and that responsibility, when I experienced these things while I had psychiatric medication in my system, they didn't go in as knowing. They were tainted with this little seed of doubt that's just well, you really did feel crazy. When you are the medications induce psychosis and schizophrenic symptoms and all of that. So they were putting me on heavy antipsychotics, believing that I was experiencing psychotic episodes, when in fact I was ascending and achieving enlightenment and creating the whole world that we walk on now. And so this what this does is this means that anytime I try to process my psychotic break, and for those of you who don't know, I was sick, possibly from the smoothies that I was making. I could have toxified myself. Casey turned me on to that fact. I had an incredibly high fever, and I was having fever dream hallucination type experiences because of that. And what was perceived by the psychiatric, by the hospital, with my history of mental illness, you see, they didn't first think, oh, fever dreams, we should see if she's sick, if she has a physical illness, if she has an extreme fever. They didn't do that. What they did was shot me up with antipsychotics, which made me so much more psychotic. And so it was after they shot me up with the antipsychotics that they did the is she physically sick? They just did normal stuff, normal admittance to a hospital. That's what I'm getting at, is that's just normal admittance to a hospital, that the patient comes in and you take their temperature. The patient doesn't come in and you shoot them up with antipsychotics, right? No, that is exactly what happens in this nation in which we live, okay? So then after I was shot up with antipsychotics and they took my temperature, they found out that it was incredibly high and it was clear that I was having fever dreams. They released me, I slipped through that like that, And I told Sean, and I looked him in the eye, and I told him, and I pointed to the institution of Osawatomie State Hospital, the original asylum of the state of Kansas, and I said, I slipped through by the skin of my teeth by your decision to call the police on me. That will not happen again. If you do that again, if you allow that to happen again, the next time I am in their clutches, it will be devastating. It may very well be the end of me, because what they seek to do is end me via psychiatric medication. And he didn't heed that warning for whatever reason. He's pretty, like, at this point, like 2012, he's really, really checked out because he's really, really addicted to marijuana, okay? So maybe he doesn't even remember getting that, like, that warning. I think I remember talking to Drake about that too. But I'm just like waiting for this to load and like just like filling time because I have something that I just want to read, but like it's like my laptop is not cooperating. So I guess I'll continue talking. So anyway, I was, I had some kind of virus. They didn't know what it was. I had a very high fever, so they like brought my fever down, and I mean I was there like overnight. Like it wasn't a psychiatric hold at all. Once they figured out that was not a psychotic break, that was like fever delusion because of my physical illness. Like it was approached differently, and they like let me right through. However, they pumped me full of antipsychotics while I was there. And so I was continually affected from that one dose of antipsychotic. Like I was like, whoa, I like can feel like how I'm coming apart at the seams, and like whereas I am like this being of light that has perfected throughout a lifetime this ability to exist in a sphere of protection. Like I am such a great being that should something wish to come and grip me and clutch me, that I go no. And I clean myself off immediately. Like I once smoked something that was not marijuana, and I like sort of convulsed. I spoke in tongues, and I came out of that experience completely coated in this black writhing ooze, which like now what I'm aware of, like, oh, archon. Well, I didn't know the name for archon until very recently, until Sean told me, actually. And, gosh, that was, like, not until, like, 2015, maybe? 2015 or 2016 before I got the title archon. Always before then, what I regarded it as was an artificial intelligence malware, like a virus to the program of human duality, and so with my perception being that, like, once the archon, and I can now plug into the search and like, am I crazy? Am I crazy? Am I seeing things? Am I crazy? Am I psychotic? Am I delusional? No! Not in the least. Not even a little bit. Not at all. Unfortunately for them, I'm not. So those entities that I was like, that's malware, that's artificial intelligence malware. It's just parasitic to us. Like, it's not even evil. It's just like a mindless, like, parasite that needs to feed, and we're its food source. Like, that was my perception. Well, then, bam! Oh, it's archon, and I can, like, search archon and find out, like, oh, I'm not crazy. So, I'm under attack because I let my mother back into my life. My mother is an addict, and she's also, obviously, the bloodline that I come from. Also just this, like, adept, witchy woman. But she doesn't own her gifts, and so her gifts are turned against her. And so she's paranoid, and she's suspicious, and she's manic. And she refuses, okay, this is like weird, like she lives 40 minutes away, and she refuses to drive to come get me unless she's coming into town already to deal with her property in the area. And so that means that for me to spend time with her, I have to go spend 3 days with her. Like, not a little bit of time, 3 days in which I am immersed and under attack by archon agenda. So that's what I'm dealing with. And so I was like, hey, internet, like other than just, blast my light at it and I have destroyed them. Like, I have absolutely destroyed archon with light. Just like a lightsaber. Like that's how it works. That's actually how it works. Like, that's a solid visualization practice. If you can use that, please do so. The reason that Star Wars resonated with me, and that my dad allowed me to watch it, is like, oh, my daughter gets this. Like, she's not gonna learn anything here, really, And the reason that Star Wars resonates with so many people is that it was a very true, it was a very genuine thing that happened at a weakness in the Hollywood disinformation machine. And if you look into the history of Star Wars, or if you're aware of it and how it was created and everything, like it's so pure and beautiful, right? It's so pure and beautiful. And it is, indeed. And we have, we can take so much from it. And we do, and we continue to do so. And we do not let go of that Star Wars, do we? We do not. It's very interesting. And I have viewed my attention as a beam of light. And so, I turn my head and I slice through reality. There's an X-Men who has, eyes I can't think of, which is ridiculous, because, I actually, do, know my X-Men, or I did, but I don't. And, brain damage. But like that. And so, utilizing light to destroy evil is it works really well. But I just, I feel like I need something more, especially because, I do not have the opportunity to do that with my mom. For the way that I've been doing it, it's in proximity. That's been, important to my ability to destroy with my light, with my intention, with my love. Unless it's in, the centered in the flow of creation, meditative state oneness, where I am a pillar of light blasting through the shield of archon that surrounds our realm. That is probably the veil. I'm probably poking holes in the veil. And best not to dwell too long on your own self-inception. But that's how I got here. I poked the holes. And so it's it's poking holes in condoms. Oh, that's so funny. And wasn't that a Michelle too? Oh, it's just so funny. So anyway, I had this spiritual awakening thing, really wild stuff. I would just walk into the room and I would be I used to do this all the time. Your eyes don't need to be open for you to see. In fact, when I was younger, I could not close my eyes. I could not stop seeing, which is truly the source of my insomnia, is that I could not stop seeing when I closed my eyes. And so I at one point, when I was I feel like I'm going crazy, but I also feel like I'm just waking up, I entered the room, our bedroom that Sean and I shared, And I like thought that, and I was like, just because I can't see it doesn't mean I can't see it, you know? Like, just because something is like broken that I'm not allowed to know that I see doesn't mean I don't see. So what I did was close my eyes and just, we live in like treacherous, like danger zones. And at the time it was a bedroom with 4 cats and stuff all over the floor. So, I just like walked, I don't know what I did, specifically, or if I wrote it down or recorded it. But like, there was some deliberateness, like, to the way that I walked. It wasn't in a straight line. It was more like an organic dance type of thing, but like, it might have been, you know, like a number or a letter or like a shape or something like that. But what I did was completely navigate the room with my eyes completely shut, without touching a single thing, not a cat, not an object. When I opened my eyes at the other side of that room and looked down at the floor and looked down at my feet, like centimeters from touching me was a lava lamp. Like not one that was on, or plugged in at all, but a lava lamp. Like I had raised, like just walking around my house, I'm like, I never raised my feet high enough, you know, like that I had like just like managed to avoid that obstacle. Like, I could have tipped that lava lamp. Like, I wasn't even touching that lava lamp. And like the battlefield that I had just like waltzed through was just like, oh, you know? And like I said, like, this is like, I was born with grace, I fell from grace, I returned to grace. But really, grace is never out of my reach, nor yours. It is the illusion, it is the delusion of the archonic agenda, that you believe that you lose access, but you don't. Or anyway, I didn't. Speak for myself, I suppose. Well, now my Gmail's completely gone away. This is weird. The more I use my... And so it goes, the more I use my laptop to actually, like, you know, create change and build, like, a cult following, the less my laptop works. This is so ridiculous. Okay, so anyway, that's like one thing of like many, many, many things, and like I have an entire lifetime of like I knew that, I saw that, like I'm bored. Like, more than anything, I'm bored, and that's like why I became like this chaos demon, right? Like that's the why of the Harley Quinn. That's the why of the Harley Quinn. Because I'm just bored, and it's just a dream. So, that was going on, but I was also, like Sean was, like, really, really scared, while I was going through that, and was like, you need to sleep, you need to sleep, you need to sleep, you need to sleep. Like, he has long asserted this notion that the reason that I go insane seeming is from lack of sleep. And, like, that's not exactly what it is. And I think he's only just now figured that out. Like, I legitimately recorded myself sleeping with this laptop while I went through the withdrawal, and while I was seeming while he thought, had he not had evidence that I was lying through my teeth about how often and how much and how well I had been sleeping, because his perception was that I had not been sleeping, because his perception is that I am crazy. I do not think that he can hold on to that any longer. It was like you've been sleeping, but you're still not okay. Then the reason you're not okay is the medication that you're taking. And the medication that I'm taking that is prescribed to me is oxycodone, which means that oxycodone is like really, 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 really evil. That opioids are really evil. Okay? Like, do you know, like, how potent a thing has to be to touch me? Like, and I know, like, I went into it, like, full awareness. This is going to lower my vibration to a degree. I will have to be actively, like, countering that, you know? So, like, I'm not, like, blind to what it is or what it was. I just, like, I don't deserve to feel like my leg is being ripped off of my body like a turkey leg at Thanksgiving. I don't deserve to be the turkey. It was me. I was the turkey all along. It was me. I was the turkey all along. I don't deserve to be the turkey. I don't deserve to be the turkey. And no one does. No one does. Okay? Like, you don't have to, like, be in pain. That's agenda stuff. That's agenda stuff. That's karmic trap agenda stuff also. And, like, just load Gmail. I lost my other phone. Like, it's probably at my mother's, which is, like, not good. But, hey, I'm transparent. Like, I'm transparent, so, like, may not be good, but, like, it is what it is. It ain't nothing I didn't say to your face also, you know? That's the thing. But, yeah, like, so after my little slip through, I started to unravel, and, like, the antipsychotics in my system made me doubt that what I was experiencing was, like spiritual revelation, awakening, and everything, and it, like, polluted it. What it did was, like, pull ego into it, and when you pull ego into spiritual awakening, that's when you get, like, the heavy-handed, deity stuff going on, and that can become problematic. Of course, like, I am God, you are God, like, we are all, you know, feathers from the same wing, like, but, like, it's a thing that, like, people who lose their mind, like, often think they're Jesus and God, right? Yeah, it's a thing. That's not without reason. And, so, had me committed again, and this time it was not in and out easy. It was one institution, another institution, and then that hospital that I pointed to on that screen, and I was like, boy, you make that mistake again, and you might just lose me, because this is where I'm going. I know it. I see it. And it's up to you to not make that wrong decision, and I'm telling you to not make that wrong decision, and he did. So, that's what's wrong with me. That's what happened. Yeah, so, after I got out of, Osawatomie State Asylum, I was staying, very nearby it, with someone in the country, like, away from Wi-Fi. I just feel like I should note that, like, I did not have, I was not immersed in Wi-Fi. And I think it's significant. I think that if I thought to say it, it must be significant. And I had the most powerful psychic knowing that Sean, my beloved, who I've now known since 2005, it's 2020, and we were happily, like, wed, although not legally, for 8 years. Or 7 years happily. I guess the 8th year was, like, not great because of this one thing that happened here that I'm coming up on. Oh, yes, it's working. So I was in the country, and I had the psychic knowing, and I was like, oh my God, like they're targeting Sean. That girl that he's with is just an agent of the devil, basically. and she's going, like, I trust him. I do not trust her. And it took, like, every, like, fiber of my being to not, like, contact Sean and be like, you need to get away from that girl, like, right now. Like, she's dangerous. I'm telling you, I know this. You have to get away from her. And I didn't do that. And here's what I did instead. To shut up that voice, and this is the why of my mom, I drank. Took a shot of alcohol. Just a shot of alcohol. And that shot of alcohol is enough to go to sleep. But it was not a restful sleep that I had. No, because I was pulled through the astral plane, like, if you've done, like, psychedelic drugs, that 2D feeling, like, it's that, and I went to my beloved, where he was in the city, immersed in Wi-Fi, far away, and I was entirely present for, the intercourse that he was having with this girl who had dyed her hair blue like me, and whose initials were MLP, the initials of the most beloved and sacred thing in Mindy Lee's life, My Little Pony, and whose name is Michelle, and I've never met a Michelle that I liked or trusted. They're shells! And this girl is a victim herself, and I recognize that. However, that does not, like, it doesn't, like, we're not here to be like, oh, poor Michelle is a victim of MK Ultra. Michelle was dropped off by her handler outside of a Masonic lodge, and my boyfriend, who knows me, and everything that we know, and everything that I talk about with you, I was talking about the minute I fucking met him, right? Like, in 2005, let me remind you again, my boyfriend was like, oh, no problem. Like, dude, that's like an agent of the devil. It's written all over it. That's like nothing but. There's nothing but. Okay, so like, I was on medication. I still had meds in my system because I was just out of the asylum. And still had meds in my system, wasn't taking them, had put alcohol into my system, which, like, that taints things. And so, although I have zero doubt about the fact, because I do this, actually, like, anyone I have sex with, when they have sex with other people, I go there for it, I feel the orgasm of them, like, this is why I'm like, hey, don't be loose with sex. Hey, the Bible said one person for a very good reason that y'all little peon humans do not understand how many nooses you've put around your own neck with your fucking. And, I mean, they're nooses or they're leashes, and, like, there's a collar around both your necks. It's just whoever's stronger, actually. And guess what? I'm always strongest. So, the thing that happened with, like, the very physical, like, spiritual, like, I'm there for them having sex, like, that fully, like, yep, know that without any doubt. But, like, what I've been wrestling with, all of these years, like, this is 2013 that this happened, all of these years is, like, why am I doing this? Why do I do that? Why is that just, like, a fact of my life that I go to when, like, the boy that I had sex with is having sex, and I'm, like, present for it. And, like, when I was, like, before Sean, like, it would be like, oh, I'm aware of it, like, okay, I see it, I feel it a little bit, and I could, like, back out of it. With Sean, I can't at all. With Sean, I'm dragged, that leash, that choke chain around my neck. It doesn't matter if I'm awake or asleep. I go and be with him having sex with a person who is not me. And this is like the love of my life. So it's been really fracturing and really damaging. And I also have been feeling like why do I feel like I'm getting diseased from these women? Like problems that I did not have, or problems that I had that were minor for me, are now exaggerated because of his sexual intercourse with traumatized, damaged MK Ultra bitches. Like, it's heavy. It's heavy. I'm like I'm out of time. Well, I gotta up this, and I'll be back. Love and light, y'all.